and I was incredibly embarrassed by it.
That was an embarrassing thing to be wearing.
Yeah. I
Mm.
mean, it was embarrassing that they pulled my pants down in front of the whole class.
Right.
But it was only made more embarrassing by the fact that I was Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8. Howdy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Office of Spiritual Life podcast, The Couch.
Hey.
I'm Nathan,
I'm Avery.
and we are your campus ministers. And this is a
Ooh.
podcast where we sit down and talk about faith and ACU.
We are so excited to start this podcast, and we're so excited to be your campus ministers. That's kind of a new thing.
Yeah, definitely. You know, in the past, we have been the associate chaplains, but we wanted to make this name change so that you guys know that we do so much more than just chapel.
Yes.
We are really meant to be a resource for you for all things spiritual, whether you want to get plugged in with community on campus or with a local church, or you just want a place to come hang out. We're in our new hangout room right now,
Heyo.
which will also be our podcast studio. So please, come on down and just get to know us.
Yes, we've got snacks, we've got coffee, and we've got a really cool office full of student workers and graduate assistants that would love to also hang out with you.
100%.
So
Yeah.
we're super excited for this next semester, which includes this podcast. We're going to bring on special guests that are chapel speakers, bring on faculty and staff on campus, even students.
Yes.
We would love to interview you, hear what the Lord's doing in your life.
Yeah.
But before we get into any of that this semester, who even are we?
Who the
What
heck
are we doing?
Who are you?
Well, yeah, campus ministers, what? You're not going to listen unless you know who you're listening to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, Nathan?
Yep, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so we decided to share a little about ourselves, and I kind of have some questions to interview ourselves, I guess.
Yeah, shoot.
And maybe our answers, if you're listening, you'll connect to something we're saying.
Maybe.
Maybe we have, I hope
or
we
maybe
have.
not, and that's okay too.
I hope we have something in common. Goodness. Okay. Nathan, where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Austin.
Oh,
I'm from the best city in the world, Austin, Texas.
you know, we talked about this yesterday, and I said, I'm from Dallas. I would have to agree that Austin is the best metroplex. That might be a red flag to others listening, but that's a green flag
Sure.
also.
Especially because Austin would never call itself a metroplex.
Oh,
Yeah, we just call ourselves Austin
sure.
and the greater Austin area.
Well, it's the only metroplex that has its own tagline, which I love.
Yeah, keep Austin weird.
Yeah, good vibes,
Yeah.
weird vibes.
And Portland stole it from us, so we're original.
Okay.
We're the weird ones. Portland are the posers. So, sorry, Oregon.
Wow, that's the T. Yeah, so from Dallas, from Austin, and then we both ended up in Abilene. We went to school here. We'll get into that later.
Yep.
I want to hear about an embarrassing story from your childhood to really, connect with our students.
Yeah.
Have you been thinking about this?
No, I haven't, but I
I
kind of
can-
have a lot of these stories locked and loaded.
Sure.
So this is in the third grade. My family was living in Belgium. We lived there for 2.5 years. And one day, my teacher had to leave the room, and me being the most responsible in the class, she put
Of
me
course.
in charge. And of course, the teacher left the room, so some people started misbehaving.
As they do.
And I
clowns.
was trying to keep them in line, although they were my friends, so I wasn't trying too hard. And these girls were walking around. I don't even know how to describe what they were doing, but they were kind of like walking around, looking like clawing at the air. Like,
What?
listeners, if you can't see me, I have my hands raised. I'm like clawing like this, okay? And somehow they ended up behind me, and they pulled my pants down.
That's not where I thought that was going.
And I think the boys can relate to this. People of our generation do not wear tidy whities,
Okay.
but
Briefs, right?
brief. Well, some people might wear briefs, but not just the classic white briefs.
Sure.
But that's what I was wearing. It was embarrassing that they pulled my pants down in front of the whole class.
Right.
But it was only made more embarrassing by the fact that I was wearing tidy
Tidy
whities.
whities. At
Also,
least it wasn't commando.
Is it tidy whities or whitey tidies?
Tidy whities.
Okay.
How would I know? I've never worn them,
I don't know.
and my husband doesn't wear them, so
Well,
not really sure.
okay, tidy whities.
Tidy whities is what we're going with.
Well, what about you?
So in middle school, I did not grow up Church of Christ. I grew up in the Metroplex, Dallas, at a big non-denom church, and they always hosted a middle school conference. So I'm in 6th grade at this time. Everyone says middle school is tough.
Yeah.
To sound like a pick me and a has been, middle school is my peak. Like, that
Oh.
was before life got really hard, you
Uh-huh.
know, all the things. I loved middle school. This traumatized me because middle school was so great and this was hard. So, we're at this conference and there's a Christian band. I don't know if they still exist. I should look this up. They were called Dutton,
Dutton.
and everyone was obsessed with them at the time. It's like the Forrest Frank of the early 2010s.
You're talking to a straight up acapella boy, so
Right. Anyway, so you get to go and have your CD signed by
Right.
Dutton.
Right.
I'm fangirling. Okay, it's all these guys. And I hand him my CD and I'm like, "Hi, I'd love for you to sign my CD." And he goes, "What's your name?" And I said, "It's Avery with an O." And he looks at me very strange. And then proceeds, okay, signs with a Sharpie, hands it to me. I'm devastatingly embarrassed because I look and he put Dear Ovary,
Ovary. Yep.
Ovary, not Avory, hello. So glad you came. And I was like, oh, and ovaries are weird back then.
Yeah. Well, that's actually your fault.
That's my mom's fault for naming me Avery with an O. And funny enough, that's just always been a funny story I share. Someone a couple months ago asked me if my name was Ovary for the first time since 6th grade. It happened again.
I thought it happened on a Starbucks cup like a month ago or something.
Maybe that's
or maybe I'm just
that's
conflating
what it was.
stories.
I was at Starbucks and I said my name's Avery, and she's like Ovary. And I was like, no, something like that.
No, why would my name be Ovary?
Right. No one would. Anyway, so that's my story. So, but that builds character
It does.
for both of us.
Yeah.
Tidy whities and ovaries. Oh, man, this
Oh.
podcast. Okay. Anyway, let's go to current times. I want to know what song you've had on replay right now,
Okay.
recently.
I actually just showed this song to Avery yesterday.
Oh, no.
It's not a serious song. It's not a song that I can jam out to, although
You've been jamming.
I've been jamming. It's Kevin Tierney's. I don't even know what it's called.
Oh,
Love Me
God.
for Me, I think is what it's called. But it's this song. It's kind of been on. It's not on TikTok actually. He only makes reels.
What is that? Instagram Reels?
Instagram
Okay.
reels. But the funny part is that he's just like telling a story, like verbatim. But it's a song. The lyrics. We were high school. Do you want me to sing it?
Please.
We were high school sweethearts. And then something, but you had to move away. So we did long distance. But one day you texted and you said to me that you wanted to break up. I asked why. You said that you found another guy. I won't fight this feeling at all. I'm not gonna raise my hands up.
Okay. I love how you reference him as if people are gonna know who this is.
No, they
This
will
is-
not.
No.
But look
This
up
is
on Instagram Reels, Kevin Tierney, Tierney.
and I'm sure he appreciates the plug. I truly get some listeners. This is a, grassroots man in his own city
Yeah.
making music because it's his dream and not his dad's,
He has he has 3 songs that I know of. But his reels are just the same 3 songs. He just has a bunch of different music videos for the same songs. It's fascinating.
Yeah, he's entertaining. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's yours.
Yeah.
Do you use Spotify?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I have been listening to the same my 2022 Spotify Wrapped
I was going
playlist.
to ask about it.
That is what I listen to. That is the peak of my music.
Okay.
We used my Spotify for chapel, and
Oh,
so the past 2 years,
it's been work.
my Wrapped has just been music that I don't. Not that I hate, contemporary worship music, but it's not what I listen to in my
Right.
free time.
I really care deeply about Spotify Wrapped.
Yep.
And when I realized I was a student minister and our midweek playlist was definitely warping that. I literally put a new Spotify on the church card for our youth ministry, because I was like, this is getting in the way of my self-expression.
Yeah.
So, I actually don't know what song I've had on repeat. I will say Zach Bryan came out with a song with John Mayer called Better Days. And that has just been like a chill song that I've liked in the background of things.
Is there a Post Malone song?
Yes.
No, that's Better
I
Now.
had some help. No, that's Posty. With
Better now.
Oh, well, that one. Why does that sound like Matt Kearney? Is that his name?
Kevin Tierney. Why does that sound like Paul Cho?
So I'm just gonna say that one, and then Always Forever by the Colts. It's old, but I've just been jamming out to it recently. Okay. What is the most binge-worthy TV show? What was your biggest binge for TV? And I have 3 answers.
My
Quickly.
biggest binge?
Like my biggest binge ever. My first binge was when I got Netflix my senior year of high school,
Okay.
which I'm not old, but that kind of ages me. And the first show I ever watched where I could like consume more than one episode because it wasn't on TV was New Girl. So that's
Yeah.
just a nostalgic binge for me. The one I purposefully ever first binged was Jane the Virgin.
Yeah.
And that's a fabulous show. And then I've been binging Gossip Girl because I never watched it. And I've had to pause because I'm so emotionally invested that it's my paused binge at the moment.
Interesting. So, okay. Like in high school, I couldn't really binge anything because the shows that I watched were still ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
So How I Met Your Mother finished like my junior year of high school,
Okay.
but I started watching it in 8th grade or freshman year, right? I think so. And so there were like 7 seasons out,
Oh, wow.
and I had never heard of the show, but then I made this new friend who ended up becoming like my best friend of all time. His name is Armand. And
Shout out Armand.
my house flooded because while we were on vacation, a pipe burst.
Womp womp.
And so we had to live in a rental house for 6 months while they fixed our house. And Armand's house was right around the corner. And so every day after school, I'd go over and we would binge How I Met Your Mother.
Okay. Never seen it.
It doesn't age well. We're rewatching it right now.
That's how I feel about The Office. I watched that with my boyfriend, now husband, in college for the first time ever. And it was not a noteworthy binge for me.
Okay.
Because at that point it was outdated too and wouldn't be aired
Right.
today.
I have watched The Office more than any other TV show. I want to have one more answer because the show that I want to binge right now, especially because there's a new season, is Futurama.
Okay.
It was my favorite show growing up, but my wife is not interested in cartoons made for adults,
Me neither.
and I think you're all missing out.
Maybe that's why me and your wife are best friends.
Maybe.
Okay, Nathan, I'm curious. Do you have any pets that I might be obsessed with?
Yeah, I kind of have the coolest dog in the world.
You do.
Her name is Penny.
Penny.
I realized a few months ago that me and my wife named her Penny for different reasons.
Wait, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I named her Penny because basically the one shared artist that me and my wife like is Penny and Sparrow. So I'm like, perfect. Penny from Penny and Sparrow.
Right.
She named her Penny because she's copper in color.
Both are great.
Yeah, they are.
She's a double Penny.
And we just found out her DNA results the other day. She is mostly bloodhound with about equal parts Great Pyrenees and Boxer.
She's the best.
She's the best.
And y'all rescued her from the pound.
We did, from All Kind here in Abilene.
Shout out All Kind.
Shout out All Kind.
I have a dog as well. He's full Springer Spaniel. His name is Fox, the dog. Me and my husband have a habit of naming our animals things that they're not. And all 3 of my cats that I have been rescued off the street from youth ministry events sometimes. One's name is Chai. The other's name is Udi, after gluten-free bread, because I am gluten-free. And the girls who found her called her Toast when they gave her to me, and I didn't want to call her Toast. And so I was like, Udi's honoring Toast, but making it my own. And then my first cat I ever got I will love him till the day I die. I don't know what I'll do without him when he's gone. His name Marty, after just a historical figure. So
Okay.
okay, those are our pets. Lastly, present before we hit ACU traditions we've been a part of. What do you do for fun on the weekend? What does a campus minister do in their free time? Only read the Bible and pray.
Right. But when I'm not doing those things,
Sure.
I am playing FIFA.
Yep.
Watching soccer.
You love soccer.
Shout out Chelsea FC.
Ooh. Okay.
Up the Blues. Pride of London. Enzo Maresca is going to take us places.
Here, here.
Or I'm smoking meat. I am a big fan of smoking meat. I smoke.
Grilling.
Well, but it's not.
It's different.
It's different. I mean, you might smoke during grill season, but it's different. It's like I could grill a steak in a few minutes,
Yeah, this is.
but I'm gonna spend
This
all
is-
day smoking.
This could debately,
What?
argumentatively
Uh-huh.
be a spiritual discipline. You're learning self-discipline, patience. You're learning how to care for something.
And sometimes
smoking.
there's not a big payoff.
Yeah.
Sometimes you spend 8 hours smoking a pork butt, and it just doesn't turn out good.
And that takes humility.
Yeah.
So that helps you grow in the fruits of the
Yeah.
spirit.
That's why I got into it,
Right. Totally.
not because I really love barbecue.
So you grill, you play soccer, you play with your dog.
Yeah.
I am a massive extrovert.
Okay.
But I love to read. I can read a novel in a day. I do a ton of reading, fiction on the weekends. I am a certified Pilates instructor.
Yep.
Therefore, I teach classes after work, sometimes on the weekends. Yeah, I really just like to socialize on the weekends. Me and my husband live next to Miguel's, and so we like to walk there, get some chips and queso, chill out.
How do you feel about movies?
Oh, don't get me started on the movies. There's nothing better than movie popcorn and being at the movie theater.
Yep.
I would go see a movie every night if I had the money to.
Yep.
Hands down. I'm obsessed with movies. Me and Nathan's wife actually this past year watched 13 Cillian Murphy movies and ranked them and had Socratic seminars about them. It was phenomenal.
I went to one and then decided I didn't want to do the Socratic seminar after the movie because it ruined the movie for me. So then I went in the other room and played pool with Avery's husband.
Yes. This kind of goes into our Enneagram numbers if anyone cares.
Yeah.
You're a 7.
Big ol' 7 over
Big
here.
ol' 7 over here, and I'm not a big ol' 4 because I'm only 5 foot. Sitting crisscross on this couch, my feet don't even touch. But yeah, Enneagram 7 and 4. Okay, obviously we work at ACU, but we are alum. Is that the alumnus?
Where each of us is an alumnus. Together we are alumni.
I don't like that word. Not to use the word hate. I hate that word.
Well, why?
Ugh. It's like moist for some people.
Interesting. You just triggered half of our audience.
Yeah, I did. Seeing if they're paying attention. Okay, so I was a freshman in 2016.
Yep.
You were a freshman in 2017.
Correct.
But we met before this.
Yes, we met in the spring of 2017.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Spring comes before fall.
Right,
I know
right.
it's I do it all the time. I was romantically interested in Avery's best friend's younger sister.
Y'all grew up together.
We grew up together.
Yep.
And so I would be at this friend's house all the time. And Avery and her future husband
Mm-hmm.
came down to visit them for spring break.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to think of what I remember of you from that trip. I don't remember anything.
What?
All I remember was meeting you. I remember Victor,
I'm offended.
but it's because Victor was already giving me a hard time.
Sure.
Because everybody in that house knew, including the girl, that I liked her.
Well, my first impression was that it was quite obvious you were in love with this person.
Yeah.
And you were so fun and nice. You just seemed like a great all-around guy. I have different opinions now. But no, that hasn't changed much. I've only been validated in that. So Nathan ends up at ACU. We were friends throughout college. And we were both involved in a good amount of things.
Yep.
We were both Bible majors. That's where I met my husband. He threw a gum wrapper at my head. And Nathan was unfortunately a part of a stint where me and that boy, my husband, were broken up, and he was the awkward third wheel when we'd study Greek together. But he was also Nathan. At my wedding got canceled. I got married in 2020. Hey, we'll talk about dating on this podcast for sure.
Yeah.
Especially how to date. How do you navigate dating with ACU culture?
Yeah.
We both went through it. Point being, I digress. My wedding got canceled, and I had a 12-person wedding in my mother-in-law's backyard, and Nathan was one of the people that were there. So that's how special he is.
And I cried my guts out.
Yep. The guts were everywhere.
It was quite gross.
Yeah. It really took away from like the romanticism of the day.
Everyone was like, Nathan, you're really causing a scene. This isn't about you.
Anyway, yeah. So we were both in club. Now it's called
Yep.
Greek life.
I was not in a sorority.
Right.
I was in a fraternity.
Right.
I was a member and proud officer of Gamma Sigma Phi.
Here, here.
Sibling father,
Apple
COVID
cider,
class.
drink, cider, drink.
apple cider drink. And Avery was a Koji.
Koji. Yep. I was not an officer. Could have never been. Shout out to them. Mad respect. All my really good friends were our senior year, and I got to watch them from
Yeah.
afar. Which means we were both in sing song, but we were in the freshman acts
Yeah.
before we were in club acts.
Yeah.
If you have time, if you love to look through the sing song archives, 2016 Dinos. Apparently, it's one of the worst acts to exist.
It's probably listed as 2017.
Oh
because
yeah,
it
you're
happened
right.
in the
It's
spring.
February. Oh god, I keep getting the
It's okay.
fall and spring mixed up. But again, I didn't grow up Church of Christ. I didn't even know what a note meant when I showed up to this practice, and that is evident when you watch back for all those people.
Yeah. And 2018 freshman Pac-Man was robbed. This is a fact.
That is some
This
hot.
is a well-known fact. Movie ushers
serve.
were overrated. They took it. They
Wow.
played it way too safe. It was not an original. I mean, neither was ours. But
Who directed that act?
my act was directed by Marlo Davis.
Yeah, but who directed? Who's here on campus? Who directed the other act?
Abby Ware. Yeah,
She's
to
here.
be
She's
fair.
she's in Abilene too.
No,
I'm gonna have her
No,
listen to
she-
this.
She's not.
Oh,
She's in DFW. She's
Anyway.
a speech pathologist in DFW.
wow. Okay, so we're both in sing song. Nathan studied abroad.
Yep. Spring of 2019, Oxford, baby.
Hey, love it. I did not study abroad because I'm a more holy Bible major than Nathan. I decided to devote my traveling to mission work in college. Yeah. So I was at part of Worldwide Witness. I went to Thailand for 3 months, which actually Nathan's going to Thailand in like
In less than a week, in
Wow.
5 days.
crazy. So jealous. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all of our
That's
ACUing.
everything about us, I think.
Pretty much. Yeah, life story of pets and study abroad and guts, and that's a good album, Guts by Olivia Rodrigo.
Well, guys, we are so excited to keep bringing you more podcasts, more digital content about our office and about what we're doing. Avery, do you just want to give some highlights about what we're excited about doing this next
Yes.
semester?
I will say we'll have better content soon. We just wanted to gab,
Yeah.
kind of give you our personalities. We hope listening to this kind of gives you, I don't know, a look into our office, a look into us as people. But really, we want to make sure as campus ministers, not only are a resource in person, but we live online lives. And so we want to create content that is life-giving,
Yeah.
that can bless your timelines and your feeds if you take the time to listen. Also, if you really dive into like our spiritual formation experience, whether through chapel or through different opportunities this next semester, we want this to kind of be an extra level of depth and kind of enriching content and conversation. So if there's a chapel that ever stands out to you, we'll probably have a guest speaker talk more about it or go into more detail about themselves. So that's going to be really, really exciting. But our hope for you as students, really, specifically if you're an incoming freshman listening to this, is that you experience what I call, I don't know if it's still a thing, the ACU difference, which sounds so cliche, but it's so true. Finding faculty and staff on campus that see you, know you, love you, that you find places to belong on campus through student orgs with different departments, hey, maybe with our office, and that you grow in your faith here. This is like most important developmental years of your life. No pressure. But there's so much opportunity here. And so we just hope you find a home here and see God in new ways, expand your mind, challenge your faith, and grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for being here with us, and stay tuned for more content from our office.
Hey, stay tuned.
See you later.